What's up, guys? Welcome back to Plebe Pro. This is episode 3, I believe. I'm going to be going over main memory, primary storage, secondary, well, actually it's usually called secondary storage, long-term storage, anything that lasts more than a reboot. Now, a little bit of housekeeping. I apologize for taking me so long to do another episode, and also you probably noticed a few things different about the setup. 1, the microphone, 2, the earbuds, 3, this thing, which is related to the microphone. Earbuds are monitoring the microphone. Hopefully the microphone will cut out the air conditioner that's running behind me, and just generally help the audio quality. So getting into the video. In front of me I have 4 different storage devices. These are all fairly common. Well, most of them are fairly common. I'll explain why this one isn't what you guys probably think it is in a moment. This 3.5-inch mechanical hard drive, it's been the standard for 20 years. 2.5-inch mechanical drive, laptop standard for probably about the same amount of time. This is an SSD. This is also an SSD. Now, this is not one of those high-end fancy NVMe SSDs that's in the laptop over there that's recording the audio. So, couldn't use it. But it stands in, and it actually still has its purpose. So what these drives do, they give you all of your bulk storage on the computer. This one is 2... I think you can read that. It says 2 terabytes right there. So, it's a lot of storage in a pretty small package. 2 terabytes is kind of the standard for high capacity storage in consumer computers. Yeah, you can get 10 terabyte drives, but those are insanely expensive. They're enterprise grade drives, and they're actually not good to use personally, as they don't... That's the way I want to put this. If you're doing anything besides archival storage, so just saving data to it and keeping it intact, those high capacity drives will actually wear out a lot faster. Now, getting into the differences. Technically, in terms of speed, these two are about the same. This one, if it was what you guys thought it was, would be faster. It'd be about on par with this. This is actually a SATA SSD. It uses a interface called mSATA, which allowed them to put small SSDs in laptops without using a 2.5-inch bay. So you could pair it with something like this, a standard 2.5-inch drive. Yes, this one is thick, but it is actually still a 2.5-inch drive. It lets you pair an SSD with a normal drive without having to change the size of the laptop, because this actually fits into the same port as a Wi-Fi card does in most laptops up to about 3 years ago when they changed the standard. These are both SATA. Actually, this one's SATA 3. So this one actually came out of the Plebe Pro computer that I set up, or that I was playing with, episode 1. 80 gig drive. Meh. I had a terabyte that I thought had a Windows key, so went with that. And also 80 gigs in 2018 is tiny. This came out of a NAS Media Center that I got off Indiegogo a few years ago. The company flopped, software crapped out, pulled the drive out, wanted to see what was in there. This I actually bought for a project that I found a hiccup in after I actually got started on it, but after I bought the drive. And the reason I say this one's weird is, if you know anything about interfaces for hard drives, this is IDE. This is that old flat cable that was this wide, big gray thing that was hard to work with. You had to deal with master-slave settings, and yes, master-slave. You could say server-client, but technically it was master-slave. They were annoying to set up. They were slow. I bought this to go into an old system. It is not SATA compatible, so didn't have a whole lot of choice. This I picked up a few years ago. At the time, it was insanely cheap. I actually got to go into this little external enclosure. Yeah, you can kind of see that. External enclosure, use it as a portable drive for my Surface Pro, which only has 128 gigs of storage, so kind of limited. Now, I've actually opened this one up because I want to see inside, and I want to show you guys what's inside. So, well, that didn't open as far as I hoped. Inside of it, when you take off the bottom panel, you have a PCB with memory chips. There's an unpopulated zone here for a third one. On the back side, there's probably a couple more. But it's just a PCB with some memory chips. And actually, I'm surprised at the fact that it uses the entire board. Most of the time, when you see SSDs taken apart, they do not use the entire inside. I really hope that didn't come through the mic. But that's the inside of an SSD. This is a bare SSD. My computer may have just... Okay. So I'm not going to take either of these apart. because unlike SSDs, when you take these apart, they're pretty much ruined. What I do have for you guys is a drive that I know is bad. And I have no idea if you can read that. I think you can. N blank G, no bleeping good, dead. Yes, I went with the stupid way to write it. So, inside of one of these, you take off this cover with a bunch of screws. You have a seal here, and this is actually a pressure relief valve. So make sure that the inside of the drive does not become either high pressure or low pressure. In this corner, this little white thing is actually an air filter. And then you have the inside of the drive. And it is insanely reflective. I'm actually going to try not to show you guys half my kitchen with it. This should rotate, and it doesn't. It should rotate very, very well, and it's completely locked up. So that's what happened. I was trying to do some data recovery or just blank it out or something for a friend, and when I had it plugged in and running, I dropped it. Which, it's spinning at 7,200 RPM, so 7,200 rotations per minute. So all the way around 7,200 times per minute. And this piece here is the read head. So this actually glides across the surface of the disc using the insane speed to actually generate an air cushion. And it's floating nanometers above the disc, reading the magnetic polarity of each of the little tiny bits on there. Which I don't quite remember how to read these. There's actually 3 platins, which this is a platin. So there's 3 stacked. There's 4 read heads because each platin is dual-sided, and most read heads are dual-sided. So you can read the top side and the bottom side technically simultaneously. This is an insanely powerful magnet, which I was trying to pry off, and it does not want to come out. And underneath there on the read head is a little magnetic coil, which it energizes and moves back and forth. That's how a hard drive works. This goes really, really fast, and this skirts back and forth, reading the magnetic polarity. From there, it then converts it, using the board down here, out to, in this case, SATA, which this drive is actually older, so it still has the old Molex power supply option, which not all of them do. This is a more modern drive, SATA power, SATA data. This is actually surprisingly also a more modern drive, power, data, which is very surprising because this is an 80 gig, this is a 500 gig. This one is 2007. This was 2009. So actually the 2009 drive has a newer interface but less storage. Yeah, that's what makes up a hard drive, and your computer writes to it, saves data to it, reads from it, and the spinning around while it skirts back and forth, that's why everybody says SSDs are faster. This SSD is half the capacity of this entire drive. There's a massive size difference there. Let's see if I can get you a little bit better angle on that. Yeah, massive size difference. Physically. But capacity-wise, not that much. And no, I think this one's actually fully populated. It's one of those things, the physical size of the drive doesn't mean anything. This is 2 terabytes, so this is 4 times the capacity of this, and yeah, that looks about right. But it's, or no, actually, it's a quarter the size and 4 times the capacity, so 1/8 somewhere in there, some direction. Math is not my strong suit. But this drive is 80 gigs. This is actually the smallest drive I have sitting on the table. Well, that you can see on the table. I'm not going to talk about the flash drive or the SD card over there. So this is the smallest drive you can see, and it's physically equal to the next largest physical drive. Kind of running out of things to say here, and I'm trying to keep this much shorter, which I'm looking at the clock. I'm almost 10 minutes. Crap. So yeah, that's kind of a hard drive. A little bit deeper than I probably intended to, but I got the point across, I hope. If you guys like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the videos. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down, but let me know why. If you have any specific questions, let me know. Kind of help me go for what the next video will be. As I'll be honest, 1, 2, and 3 I knew. 4, I'm not quite sure where I want to go with it. So yeah, let me know what you want to see. Let me know how I did, if there's anything you think I can do. And also, if I use this mic audio, let me know if it came through well. See you guys in the next one.